and appreciate a moment of unity. Culminating with a rendition of Silent Night, sung together, arms linked.
This is a very simple thing that I think inspires people and reminds people of how fun and how great people can be.
For these students, a reminder that silence, together, is golden.
And that's Nightly News for this Monday. I'm Tom Llamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night.
Here's the scoop from NBC News, a new podcast where conversations and headlines are served daily.
Live from News 7 KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 6.
Tonight at 6, billions of dollars in aid are on the way for American farmers. What the president is saying about it tonight.
To make sure that we've got, that we are, fiscally responsible, but also making sure that we're still meeting the needs of our students.
Plus a financial audit in the Waterloo Community School District, how leaders say they plan to address and fix the issues. And the Iowa State Cyclones introduce their brand new head coach, and a new chapter begins in Ames. Well, happy Monday, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for your News at 6. I'm Luke Birdsall. Now, we have experienced snowfall for a second straight weekend in a row, and cleanup is once again underway. Let's take it to a look outside right now. Now, we may not be done with the snow just yet this week, by the way. Let's take it to a live look at the current conditions in a snow-covered Iowa City. Things are quite calm on the campus there at the University of Iowa. Let's hand it over to Storm Alert Weather 7 Chief Meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg.
We've had a lot of snow, and just a couple of numbers here. Waterloo has 17.7 inches of snow so far this year. Last year at this time, we had 0.9 inches of snow. The last time we had this amount of snow at this point, we had to go back to 2005, so it's been 20 years, so it's been a while. Temperatures in the teens right now across eastern Iowa, 20s out to the west, that's coming in our direction. Wind chills, though, still down into the single digits at this hour. Brief snow shower, a couple of flurries, that would be about it with the clouds here this evening and into the overnight hours. And you'll see the cloud cover continuing here through the overnight, but also notice the temperatures. They will be climbing through the overnight hours, so we're at the coldest part of the night. And by tomorrow morning, we'll get into the 20s, eventually 30s, and then maybe some blizzard or near blizzard conditions in some locations Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. We'll detail all that coming up in just a bit.
Mark, thank you. Well, the Waterloo School District is now working to solve its budget deficit, which totals in the millions of dollars. An audit will be presented to the school board tonight with its findings into the district's finances. Alex Johnson is here to explain. Alex.
Hey Luke, it's definitely interesting looking at the numbers, but the Waterloo School District has been battling with its budget, trying to find a balance between revenue and expenses, all while facing funding challenges it can't control.
Making sure that we're still meeting the needs of our students.
An audit of the Waterloo School District finds its spending exceeds its revenue for 2025 with a total deficit of $6.8 million. The district said its main focus is still making sure their students' needs are met first and foremost.
What we've been talking about the last couple of years is that we do have some money that we need to make sure that we're saving. We are we've talked about our 3-year budget plan. And so what people are going to see in the audit is that we have overspent, just like again, many districts have to make sure they meet the needs of the students.
The district is getting more money per student from the funding by the state, but the district is seeing declining enrollment.
It has gone up. Each year goes up by a certain amount, right? But actually for us, it maybe it's something when you've got 10,000 students or just shy like we have. It seems like it'd be a lot more, but honestly, the cost of doing business, the cost of running schools in the last 6 years has gone up dramatically. So even though the amount per student has gone up, it really hasn't stayed at a level where we need it to be.
While the school district has averaged $154 million in revenue from 2021 to 2025, expenditures have increased from $142 million in 2021 to $173 million in 2025. The superintendent says a 3-year plan is underway to cut $20 million from its budget.
We feel like by 27, 28 that budget should be balanced. It's a goal that we have to give us 2 more years to make sure our budget, to make sure that the amount of money coming in is what's going out. Really typical financial, But what's tricky is that we've got so many needs as a district.
As we previously reported, the superintendent says the district will likely need to make staff reductions next year, but will do what they can to avoid layoffs. Back to you, Luke.
Alex, thank you so much. Well, President Trump today announced future help coming to Iowa farmers in the form of $12 billion in farm aid. And the money is expected to all be paid out by the end of February. Most of it directed to crop farmers under the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program. And they'll each find out how much they can expect to get by the end of this year. Now, during a roundtable discussion today, the president says the money will come from tariff revenue, setting off what he calls a golden age for American farmers.
Maximizing domestic farm production is a big part of how we will make America affordable again and bring down grocery prices for American families. We're going to make the farmers so strong. And I'm not even talking about financially, because they just want to be able to produce what they can produce.
Iowa Agriculture Secretary Mike Nag issued a statement today saying how this will improve lives for Iowa workers and families, saying in part, quote, "I appreciate President Trump and Secretary Rollins providing some immediate short-term relief as we work to strengthen trade relationships and expand markets at home and abroad." Well, Iowa State has a brand new head football coach, and it sounds like he has been waiting in the wings for this opportunity. Sports Director Rick Coleman joins us now on set to talk about the new Cyclone head coach Jimmy Rogers' journey to Ames.
Well, Luke, Jimmy Rogers has made the most of every opportunity in his quest to become Iowa State's 34th head football coach. He replaces Matt Campbell, who left to be the head coach at Penn State. He's led FCS Power South Dakota State to a national championship in just 1 year at Washington. He also led the Cougars to a bowl game. Now, Iowa State Athletic Director Jamie Pollard said he made just one phone call, and that was to Jimmy Rogers when it became clear that Campbell would be leaving Ames for Penn State. Pollard, who has known Rogers for a couple of years, knew that he was interested in coming to Ames. And there was no hesitation by Jimmy Rogers when Pollard called him to offer him the job.
Called him back, and I said, I need to know one thing. If Coach Campbell leaves and I offer you the job and I offer you, and he said, stop. You don't have to tell me what you're going to pay me. The answer is yes. I'm taking the job. I trust you. Don't worry about what you're paying me. That should tell you all you need to know about how much this man wanted to be here.
Well, for the record, Jimmy Rogers has signed a 6-year deal for $3 million a year at Iowa State. That's twice as much as he was making at Washington State. Also in the press conference, Rogers credits Campbell for making the Iowa State football job too good for him to pass up. In studio, I'm Rick Coleman, News 7 KWWL. Luke?
All right, Rick, thank you so much. And speaking of this news, on campus today, students at Iowa State told us they were feeling optimistic for the future under the new head coach, acknowledging he has some big shoes to fill.
That's definitely going to take a little bit of time. So maybe not this season, but I feel like in the upcoming seasons, I think he might do good. His stats are good.
He's more defensive oriented, while Campbell was kind of more offensive oriented. So I think that'll be a change. The defense will also change. He brings a different defense into everything, but I feel like it should be a good switch up for everything. And
well, the Cyclones are already looking ahead to 2026. The team announcing over the past weekend that they will not be playing in a postseason bowl game this month, feeling that they cannot safely practice and compete right now. The Big 12 Conference says that the team will be fined $500,000 for skipping the game. Well, fanfare for sports is expected to boom all across the country next year. With the FIFA World Cup coming to North America, plans are now in the works for fans worldwide to make trips right here to the United States. Now, along with the Olympics, also expected to attract fans over here as well, something experts say will bring great benefits to businesses all across the nation.
You go to a city, you just don't go to the event. You book a hotel, you eat at the restaurants, you do a lot more.
If you believe, like I do, that travel is about people, then sports are the quickest way to make friends and get involved in a country's national culture.
Well, Fortune Business's Insights says this year the sports tourism industry has been valued at over $700 billion. And back here locally, Main Street Waterloo invites local entrepreneurs this week to help power up their businesses. The final session of their Power Up Small Business Workshop is going to be happening tomorrow, focusing on using artificial intelligence, showing small business owners how they can use AI to save time and grow their company. The free workshop will be at Single Speed Brewery. That starts at 5:30. An alarm is sounding at the University of Iowa after a graduate program in the College of Nursing raised concern over a proposed change to professional degree language. Now, the language would take out the "not limited to" portion of programs that are considered professional, which would exclude any fields not listed in the definition. Now, the loan cap for the program sits at $200,000. Everyone else in other graduate or doctorate programs has that cap dropped to $100,000, which the associate dean says hurts with enrollment.
Anticipate that reduced enrollment in graduate nursing programs also leads to reduction of output. If we reduce the pipeline or reduce the output of nurses coming into and out of graduate nursing programs, we're also reducing the pool of prospective faculty.
The Bureau of Health Workforce says the entire country is facing a nursing shortage right now, which is expected to last for another decade. While the Iowa DOT says it's still wrapping up the cleanup effort from this past weekend's snowfall. More than 400 plows were seen out on the roadways today across the state, working to clear up the last bit of snow and ice. The winter operations manager says with so much snow already this season, they're focused on the edges of roadways today to give drivers as much space as possible. And they're also monitoring the forecast for the possibility of even more winter weather on the way.
It looks like it's going to be more towards the northern part of the state, kind of along the Minnesota border. So obviously the garages in those areas are continuing to monitor the forecast, and they will be treating as needed, or as the forecast kind of solidifies, we'll be taking care of what we need to in preparation for it.
And you can track the plow's locations and see current road conditions anytime on the DOT's website at 511ia.org. Well, coming up, an Eastern Iowa community helps remember the attack on Pearl Harbor, a special connection they have, and how they're honoring one man's legacy.
I cannot believe this has happened again. I cannot allow this to stop me from living my life and using the train, but
I believe my brother is an inspiration for people, especially for young people. He was just a poor kid, a high school dropout, but he went back to school and made something of himself. I believe my brother is an inspiration for people, especially
And I know it's already been reported, but
I believe in the players. I believe in this community. I believe in the spirit of what Iowa State football is. And a couple years ago, we had the opportunity when I was at South Dakota State to come here in another storm, unfortunately. And that game got delayed like 3 times. And the student section at this place was unbelievable. And if we can do that every single week, it's going to be hard to beat us in this stadium.
I think the hardest thing for me was leaving the great people at Iowa.
Welcome back. A man accused of stabbing someone in North Carolina on the Charlotte light rail service just appeared inside a courtroom for the first time today. Investigators say the stabbing happened on the same rail line that saw a refugee from Ukraine get stabbed and killed back in August. Now, the latest victim says that he was just trying to protect an elderly woman who was being verbally attacked. The suspect appeared in court on charges of attempted first-degree murder. The violence is leaving the community there stunned and scared.
I cannot believe this has happened again. I cannot allow this to stop me from living my life and using the train, but, you know, I haven't sat down on the train, like, at all since Irina was killed.
While city leaders are working to assure residents their community is safe, the Trump administration says the suspect in this case is in the country illegally after already being deported from the United States 2 times before. Well, the city of Coralville is honoring its outgoing mayor tomorrow with a special reception. Mayor Megan Foster has served as mayor for the past 4 years and was previously on city council from 2018 to 2021. She chose not to seek re-election and will conclude her term at the end of this year. A public event is being held at City Hall tomorrow. That starts at 5:15. And a $2 billion pledge is being made right now to help the fight against polio. Leaders and philanthropists are donating money to an effort based around vaccinating 370 million children against the disease, with a goal to end the threat of polio worldwide by the end of the decade. And new tonight, over the weekend, Americans honored the lives lost on the 84th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, leading to the decision for the U.S. to enter into World War II. More than 2,400 people were killed that day, including someone with ties to the Iowa community of Loudon in Cedar County. Lieutenant William Schick was a flight surgeon. He was killed after his plane unknowingly flew into enemy fire and was hit. During a remembrance event in Clinton, the Army honored his legacy by naming a general hospital after him. Now, words spoken of him from his brother is one that the community says still resonate today.
I believe my brother is an inspiration for people, especially for young people. He was just a poor kid, a high school dropout, but he went back to school and made something of himself.
And the hospital that now bears its name helped treat wounded soldiers for 3 years before closing in 1946. Well, the Salvation Army had another successful mayoral Battle of the Bells this year in the Cedar Valley. More than $3,400 was raised to support their Red Kettle campaign, and for a second year in a row, the team of Evansdale Mayor Deanne Kobliska and Elk Run Heights Mayor Lisa Schmock won, raising more than $1,800. Cedar Falls Mayor Danny Laudick raised $1,300, and Waterloo Youth City Council raised $285.
We've got some snow on the way, as well as a lot of wind, but the snow is going to be on the light side. Got a couple of snow showers about passing on by. Roads are doing pretty good. A couple of spots in north central Iowa, a bit more slick. Secondary roads, county roads, that kind of thing. Yeah, the roads are still snow-packed or ice packed across eastern Iowa. Then as we get into the day tomorrow, should improve a little bit just because temperatures are warming up. It's cold right now. It's 18 degrees here in Dubuque with clouds overhead, and the temperatures will slowly warm into the 20s around here. We've got the clouds here, a couple of snow showers up to the north, maybe a brief little snow shower, a couple of flurries with this little band as it passes on by. Other than that, fairly quiet conditions. That moves on by. Clouds will continue through the overnight hours. Temperatures will be in the 20s by morning and then climb into the 30s as we get into the early part of the afternoon. We'll start to see a little bit of a wintry mix north of Highway 20, but mainly even north of Oelwein, the better chance at that as we get into the afternoon hours. Again, temperatures at this point probably about 34 degrees in those locations. A little bit of moisture passing on by, mainly in rain, but our far northern counties may have a little rain snow mix. Can't completely rule out maybe a little patchy freezing drizzle in there as well. Now, as the air moves on from the north to the south, it gets colder around here and the wind really starts to pick up. So about 9-10 o'clock Tuesday evening, the wind will be the strongest, will become pretty strong. Wind gusts close to 40 miles per hour, and then we'll have some scattered snow showers during the overnight and into the morning. Any accumulation, ½ inch, maybe an inch at the most. Bigger story is the wind. Winds will be gusting to about 45, maybe 50 miles per hour, could be a little bit more at times. During the morning, we've got a lot of snow on the ground, and it is powdery in nature. Even if we do get a little rain on that, with the strong winds, that'll blow some of that away. And then we've got, yes, out in the open will be a bit of a problem. So we have potential blizzard to near blizzard conditions as we get into the overnight hours, Tuesday into Wednesday from areas to the west. That's the area that will probably see the near blizzard conditions. Farther to the east, we're probably not going to see blizzard conditions, but visibility is not going to be good. Travel is going to be a little difficult because there will be a lot of blowing snow. It just may not hit the blizzard criteria, which is blowing snow and reducing visibility for a certain amount of time. And there's all the snow that's on the ground that will be blowing around as we get into the Tuesday night, Wednesday time frame. Gets cold, everything freezes, gusty winds, and again, blizzard to near blizzard conditions Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. After that, we're dry as we head into Thursday. Temperatures will be near 20. Some snow, possible accumulation there, as well as on Saturday. But boy, look at the cold temperatures. Single-digit highs. Overnight low temperatures will be in the single digits, down below zero.
He says, testing 1, 2, 3, South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, not the Coyotes.
And I know it's already been reported, but I feel I need to share this.
I believe in the players. I believe in this community. I believe in the spirit of what Iowa State football is. And a couple years ago, we had the opportunity when I was at South Dakota State to come here in another storm, unfortunately. And that game got delayed like 3 times. And the student section at this place was unbelievable. And if we can do that every single week, it's going to be hard to beat us in this stadium.
It was over 8 years. 70 million.
See, I don't understand why people, especially quarterbacks,
Yeah.
take the top grade. More team.
I think the hardest thing for me was leaving the great people at Iowa State who took a chance on me. I want to say thank you to Jamie Pollard, our athletic director. Man, at 36 years old, he gave me the keys to build a football program and said, we want to do something that hasn't been done here before.
Is what they get. Yeah,
That's nice.
testing 1, 2, 3. I appreciate you.
That only raises tuition on young, stupid 18-year-olds, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're like,
They don't
oh,
only jack it up.
I'll pay
Only jack it up.
$70,000 a year to go to college. That's
Only jack it up about 1,000. Wouldn't jack it up because collective,
but slowly,
it's spread out
slowly every
it's
single
spread
year.
out over you knuckleheads.
My poor sister got duped into going to the University of Miami, and her
Oh, really?
minimum payment per month is $2,000.
Wow.
Just to pay back student loans.
Wow. That's
Now, KWWL Sports.
After a whirlwind 3 days, which took him from Pullman, Washington State University to Ames, Iowa State's Jimmy Rogers is officially introduced as the new head football coach for the Cyclones. Now, Iowa State Athletic Director Jamie Pollard and new head football coach Jimmy Rogers have fostered a respectful relationship over the past couple of years, and Rogers let Pollard know that one day he would love to coach at Iowa State. Now, Jimmy Rogers says he was sold on Iowa State during his first visit to Jack Trice Stadium as an assistant coach at South Dakota State in a game that was ultimately terminated due to severe weather. He says being that close to the Cyclone experience was impressive.
I believe in the players. I believe in this community. I believe in the spirit of what Iowa State football is. And a couple years ago, we had the opportunity when I was at South Dakota State to come here in another storm, unfortunately. And that game got delayed like 3 times. And the student section at this place was unbelievable. And if we can do that every single week, it's going to be hard to beat us in this stadium.
Jimmy Rogers says several members of his Washington State staff would join him at Iowa State.